horizon is the only limit of his wanderings. The wind whispers to him stories of forgotten cities and new encounters. He crosses vast expanses like a prairie ghost, a lonely wanderer looking for his own path. His destiny is the road, his home is the forest, and the stars are the only witnesses to his adventures. This is a story about a cowboy whose heart beats to the rhythm of the Wild West. I've been in these parts since I was a kid. My father drove commercial stagecoaches through these deserted forests to earn a piece of bread. The smell of pine needles hits my nose sharply and fills my head with warm memories. It is possible to move here in conditions of deep snow only on foot, without a horse. Even a light bag on your back makes it difficult to move. Fatigue tugged at my shoulders pleasantly, but there was a quiet joy in my soul. The journey was going well. A small hill, sheltered from the wind, became an ideal place for a night shelter. The scent of freshly fallen snow and wet earth mixed with the scent of pine bark. Next to the hill, as if specially for me, there was a long dead tree, a gift from generous nature. Collecting firewood has become not a routine, but a meditation. Every quiet crackle of branches and every light blow of an axe are soothing and soothing sounds. I enjoyed the process, feeling like a part of this small, cozy world. The fire broke out. His dance was mesmerizing, driving away the coolness of the coming night. In the silence, interrupted only by the crackling of firewood and the rustle of the wind, I felt truly free and at one with nature. Loneliness here is not emptiness, but fullness. The sounds of the taiga, the whisper of the wind in the treetops, the soft rustle of falling needles, the distant cry of an owl, become part of a single symphony, accompanied by the crackling of firewood. In this unity with nature, in this silence permeated with crackling and whispering, all worries and fuss disappear. There remains only me, the bonfire, and the boundless, eternal forest. To store firewood, I make a simple but effective woodcutter. This is an integral part of any forest camp. At night, I'll just take logs from the woodpile and not drag them into the depths of the cold taiga. A faithful friend of any traveler. This is a coil of rope. I'll use it to make myself a sleeping canopy. You only need 2 nearby trees. You need to pull the rope very tightly so that it does not sag. Right now, the main goal is to create a cozy corner, a small oasis of comfort in the middle of the wild. The first thing is a sunbed. Thick logs, selected with the utmost care, form the basis of the bed. Then the suspension for the pot. 3 stakes became the basis for a simple but reliable construction of strong branches. The work was intense, and every movement was harmonious, like dancing with the forest. Above the hearth, this primitive bracket was already anticipating the aroma of steaming coffee. I make a suspension for a pot from a rope and a branch. My father taught me this in the distant past, but this skill has not disappeared from my memory. While the coffee is being prepared, I lay a layer of fragrant needles on the logs, soft and elastic, like an invitation to rest. The scent of the forest enveloped me, reminding me of unity with nature and the leisurely rhythm of life. With a light sigh, I unzipped my bag and pulled out a tent. Light as a feather, but reliable as an old friend. It does not get wet from the rain and is not blown by the wind. Every gesture was honed by experience. I straighten the awning and make pegs. I drive these stakes in from 4 corners and cover the edge of the awning with snow. Next, you need to make supports. I sharpen 2 large branches and drive them securely into the frozen ground next to the awning to make a canopy. When I get ready to sleep, I'll lower the edges of the tent and hide from the cold night and the impending bad weather. The frosty air, permeated with the scent of pine needles and freshness, tickled the lungs, causing a slight tingling sensation in the nose. But there was warmth and comfort under the awning. I lay there and inhaled the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Hot coffee burns the tongue, but it is a pleasant, invigorating, burning sensation that spreads throughout the body, driving away the winter cold. The winter forest, its silent splendor, the peace that it gave, all merged together, creating a unique atmosphere of magic and harmony. It wasn't just the enjoyment of coffee. It was the enjoyment of life, its beauty and quiet, mesmerizing power. Lying under the awning, I worked up an appetite. and during the rest, the campfire almost burned out. I throw in another armful of firewood. I thought it would be nice to have a good sturdy but easy-to-make dinner table. I make a base out of several logs. To make the countertop, I cut 2 logs lengthwise. Hitting another log helps me do this faster. Next, I level the surface with an axe and place the parts of the table on the support. To ensure that the halves of the logs do not go away, I drive small stakes along the edges. I pour seasonings on the prepared table, salt and pepper, the best spices for a juicy piece of meat. The aroma of smoke from the campfire mixed with the smell of meat and pine needles, creating a unique, memorable aroma. The sound of a crackling fire, and the light hiss of dripping oil, the music of comfort and tranquility. A small piece of meat will soon become a delicious dinner. The taste of meat fried over a campfire is not just food. It is a memory imprinted on the tongue. The original taste, unspoiled by spices, filled with aromas of smoke and forest. The first bite in a storm of flavors explodes in my mouth. The wind making its way through the trees sings its winter song, sometimes quiet, sometimes slightly disturbing. The bonfire has almost burned out, only small flames, giving off the last warmth in the evening cold. It's time to close the edge of the tent and climb into the tent. Surrounded by a kind of comfort, I slowly disconnect from the outside world, plunging into the world of dreams, in which the noise of the forest smoothly turns into the gentle whisper of winter dreams. And in my dream, I see only snow, tree trunks, and stars peeking through the fabric of the tent.